Joe Hopkins here, and today I'm asking why a 7-string, right? Why would I ask that question? It's because a lot of you out there are familiar with extended range guitars. It means guitars that go in like 7, 8 strings plus, all that kind of stuff. But some of you guys aren't. Some of you guys are a little intimidated, a little scared of something with more than 6 strings, and I'm here to explain it to you, just the basics of what it is. If you already know this stuff, that's great, man. But not everybody does. And for those who don't know and are a little intimidated, like I said, a little scared, I'm going to give you the lowdowns, right? So first off, why 7 strings? Well, you know, a 7-string guitar has your basic 6 strings, right? Same as a 6-string, right? But it has a lower. Now, what is that lower string? Well, this is in standard 7-string tuning. That's a B, right? So you know how on a 6-string, your top and bottom strings are both E. Well, you know the next one down is B. E, B. Well, it's the same on a 7-string on the bottom. E, B. So your scale would be pretty much the same, just with that lower B. So whatever notes you played, if you're playing scales, whatever note you played on that top B string is the same note you play on the bottom B string, you know? So you can go down a couple extra notes. But the big thing, I know everybody loves drop tunings. You take your 6th string, you do drop D, even drop C, and sometimes people do drop B and drop A. But the lower you go, the weirder it gets, because you want thicker strings. It kind of gets a little weird. It gets harder to play, a little bit sloppy. You got a lot less tension on the strings. But with a 7-string, you can get the lower sounds. You can get that D. Let's see here. Trying to remember which one's D. B, C, D. Yeah, you can get C, and you can get all the way down to B without having to muck about with your guitar. Now, if you want to do drop tunings on this, you can, of course, do drop A and so on and so forth. But, I mean, A seems about as far down as you might really want to go. And the whole point is you don't have to have your guitar tuned all the way down to where the strings are real loose and real sloppy to get those lower tunings. You got D right there, right? And for those who like drop C, there it is. Those who want drop B, there it is. And you can drop this, take that bottom string, that B string, tune it down to an A and leave everything else the same and have drop A. So you can get those low, chunky sounds, you know? The other cool thing is, you know, when you drop tune a 6-string guitar, it changes that bottom string. So now your scale, you know, you only have 5 strings if you're playing in that scale, and then the bottom one is different. You have to remember that. The cool thing with a 7-string is if you go to drop A, you know that your top 6 strings, the ones you're used to playing scales and lead parts on, they're all the same, right? So you have a 6-string with that extra string, and you can drop it. Like I said, I have this tuned regular, but you could go to drop A. And it's pretty cool stuff for those of you that like metal. And I know a lot of jazz musicians really like 7 and 8 string guitars for what they do. I can't really demonstrate it. I'm not that good at that kind of stuff. Now, I'm playing this on my Ibanez. I got an Ibanez Geo 7-string. Really, really nice guitar. I did a review on it. But basically, this is just, that's the basics of it. It just goes down one more string, E to B. Now keep in mind, you know, the guitar is tuned in fourths, except for that G to B, which is a third. So it's just going down a fourth. If you buy an 8-string guitar, it's the same concept. It goes down another fourth to F sharp. or you can tune it, drop tune it, or put it to wherever you want it to be. You could drop tune that to drop E. You know what I mean? You can just keep going down there. But that's all that extended range guitars are, right? This one has regular frets. I'm sure you've seen the ones with fan frets. That's a multi-scale guitar. And don't be afraid of those either. I don't have one, but it's easy enough to explain. Lower strings, right? Like on a bass guitar, you notice there's more room between the frets. It's kind of good to have a longer scale length. And the whole point of fan frets is that you can have a shorter scale length on the higher strings and a longer scale length on the lower strings, with it all staying pretty much in tune, because, you know, your bridge is cocked out like that, and the frets are fanned out, so it keeps all the ratios for your strings right, so you play the right notes, while giving you different scale lengths for the high to the low strings. But just for the basics of 7-string, all it is a low B string. So that way, your basic power chords, like you would do on a 6-string, they still work. But lower. That's all there is to it, man. So go get you a 7-string, right? If I had any recommendations to make as far as 7 strings, my Ibanez Geo, I got it on Amazon for like $200, and I have a Harley Benton 7-string that is really good stuff. I've done reviews on them. You can look them up. I tell you what, I'll put a link to, I did a shootout between the two of them. I'll put a link up there. You guys can check out some 7-string guitars if you want to buy them. Subscribe to my channel too. You should do that. And start rocking out on a 7-string. Get your low chunk, the chunk, right? Get your chunk on, man. Yeah. Yeah, so you can gent. Or something like that, right? You guys have a great time. Enjoy you some 7-string metal. Rock out. I'll see you next time. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.